What's good? What's good? What is good? Third intermission. We are back on the air. What is up, y'all? Hope y'all having a safe and fun spring evening. The snow in some parts of Canada, it's finally going away. Some parts, it's getting hot again. Some parts of the States, it's real hot right now. And it's your boy Avry here in the host chair, filling in again for Boss Man Dave. I got Jason in the cut. Jason, what's going on, sir?
Yo, 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 just here, man. I got a week off, so I'm able to, have, a good conversation with good people. Hope all is well, and I hope everyone out there is drinking their water.
Of course, man. And we got back the lovely Marsha Joseph. Marsha, what's going on? Welcome back to the show.
Merci, merci. We out here, man. It's rough, but we out here.
Right? We trying out here in these streets.
I want to be like Jason. Week off. The man sounds well rested. Like he's it's 12 hours of sleep, 3 liters of water. Like, come on, share some this way, man.
I'm sending the vibes and the energy, Marsha. Don't worry, I'm sending it
Thank
around.
you, thank you.
Right? Oh, this man is very, very well rested. And speaking of rest, Leaf fans are getting none because the Leafs are out on their California road trip. And that's what we call a segue, children.
Ay, 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 ay. Killing them out here, Avery.
Right?
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. See? Y'all know how it goes. The Leafs on their California road trip. California, here we come.
This guy.
California girls were unforgettable. Like, there's so many songs you could do that with.
Right? Oh my god.
California.
There's way too many with that. The Leafs on their California swing started things off. They lost 6-5 to the San Jose Sharks in a shootout. Got their lick back by beating the LA Kings 3-1. And currently, they are in Anaheim, California at the time of this taping, up 1-0 on the Anaheim Ducks, looking for a 2-1 split in the California road trip. And this has been a series in which, it's been a run in which Toronto as of late has been finding ways to get big wins. They beat Philadelphia. But what have been your thoughts so far, gang, on the California road trip as look to get 2 out of 3 wins on the West Coast?
You know, good for them. Good for them. It's hard. Time zones, I can't stand them. Time, not real. What do you mean I have to stay up until 10:30 to watch a lick of game when I have no sleep in me? But it's okay. The entire world cannot cater to the East Coast. It's fine. Let them have it. I just wish I were in California watching these games because they seem like they've got a lot of drama in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for real. Because if you're gonna start at the Sharks game, Marsha, that's
Yeah.
definitely a good starting point. Because I was at work that night and I was watching the game and I was just getting so pissed off. You know what I'm saying? Like I was watching the game and I was just getting so pissed off. Like I'm
It's
just like, yo,
whiplash.
yeah, like yo, what the hell is happening here? Like yo, what are these guys doing, fam? Like yo, this can't be life right now. So I left work disgusted, and by the time I get home, I see like it's a shootout. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, all right, should I start watching the game now? And stupid me puts on the game,
Oh
and these guys
no.
lose in the shootout. So I
Mad
didn't even
stretch.
see, yeah, like I didn't even see anything that happened like behind the shootout. I just watched the shootout, and I was pissed off even more than I was pissed off watching the first little bit at work.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and honestly though, like the game aside, like the Sharks are just a vibe. Like Sharky taunt like Sharky's just out here. People
Yeah,
people call up on
harassing
Gritty a
us.
lot, but like Sharky's the next underrated
Mascot.
mascot.
Yeah, no, I agree with
Great vibes,
that.
hilarious.
I agree with that. Like he was like taunting Stallers at one point. I seen the kill
Yeah,
throw it in. I'm like,
yeah.
yo, that's the type of vibe and energy you want when you go to a hockey game. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Especially out there where hockey's on the up and up, but it's not as big as like let's say like football or basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's coming up there, and to see the vibe in the crowd, and
Mhm.
like the old school throwback jerseys and shit. Like, the vibe was nice inside there. I'm not even gonna lie. You're right
100%.
about going to LA to watch a game and thing, man, because those vibes are immaculate.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, and markets like you're mentioning the markets like going to watch a game in San Jose, watching games in LA. I remember watching those old playoff series when the Sharks were a solid team. The Shark Tank was probably the most hostile building in the league. San Jose fans had a good run in the 2000s.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
yeah, because they had like Brett Burns, Joe Thornton, Valsek was in his prime. Yeah, who I can't remember who their goalie was, but yeah, Marlowe. Like they were nice, bro. They were nice
Mm-hmm.
back then, bro. Real thing, they were really nice. I remember they played. Didn't they make like the Western Finals one year or some shit?
In 04 against Calgary. I mean, it was final
Yeah,
04.
yeah, man.
I mean, I thinking of them and like it's very interesting how teams in such close proximity, like with a grain of salt, because we know San Jose isn't really that close to LA, but like
Mm-hmm.
the California teams and how different they all are and how they really carry themselves in an interesting way to distinguish from one another, right? Especially when you're thinking of Anaheim and LA, they just have such a different vibe. It's interesting to see how they all cater to different demographics. Like when I think of the Sharks, I think of that younger generation. It's more fun, it's playful. They're not scared to be out there and really kind of stick their leg out. Whereas like the Kings is they're a little bit more reserved and
Yeah.
Anaheim still kind of finding its balance after a lot of change in their organization. So it's very, very cool to see that.
Yeah, no,
Mm-hmm.
this is accurate, Marsha. 100% accurate. Because if you look at the Sharks, like that was a fun hockey game. Like when I seen
Hmm.
like the condensed version of the Leafs and the Sharks, that looked like a fun hockey game. And that's like how the Sharks have been playing this season based off of the way Mike Greer, shouts to him, has built that roster. Like the Sharks are like a fun team. The Kings are more defensive, laid back. You're rarely gonna see the Kings like put up 8, 9 goals a game with that type of firepower they have out there. They're more like defensive guys like Philip Deneau come to mind, you know what I mean? So it's like and Dowdy back there on the back end, right? So like they're more reserved. And you're right, like Anaheim is a younger team. They're just trying to find their footing and young guys like Zegras and Gauthier and yeah, like they're just trying to find each other and shit. So yeah, no, that was a great breakdown, Marsha. I definitely agree with those sentiments you shared, man, for sure.
Yeah, that was a great point, Marsha. And probably a great example was the fact you could San Jose, who was down there having fun the entire week. It's been the Steve Dangle boys. They were down there at the San Jose Barracuda game. They've been doing a week of content down with the Sharks. So you're right. That's a younger demographic that embraces that kind of fun. You're right. And I'm trying to figure out what they really want to be still. And yeah, LA is kind of a little reserved. I mean, they're a passionate fan base, but that's been that was ground zero in California for what hockey could be in California. That's the place where, hey, if you want to go to a hockey game and go see Will Ferrell, that's what you want to go to.
Yeah, because he'll definitely be there.
Might see Snoop
Yo,
Dogg too.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, all that. I think the NHL needs to put Snoop on more still because listening to this guy call a hockey game is like probably one of the greatest things ever, and he's done it a couple times before. You know what I'm saying? But Marner just made it 2-0. That was a nasty goal. Go ahead, Avery. You can
Ooh.
say at the time of this taping.
At time of this taping, Mitch Marner adds to the Toronto lead on the West Coast in Anaheim, and of course, and the big thing now again for the Maple Leafs is finding ways to get points in games like these because we talk about it for so long how that log jam between them and the Florida Panthers, these two have been trading that division lead back and forth. And someone who I am not surprised on this road trip has been active once again has been William Nylander. He's someone who he's been the most stable element on his team for a very long time. No matter if you need a goal, you need an assist. William Nylander is someone you can rely upon no matter what.
Truly, truly, truly. And honestly, I'm chopping it up to he is a beach boy thriving in the sun, hair blowing in the wind, and like making some damn good passes and shooting some nice goals. Like he's in his element.
He is. That he scored. He tied the game in San Jose off the feed from Marner. Yeah, Nylander's definitely in his glory. Definitely, he needs to braid his hair. That's what he needs to do next.
No, yo, this man said, Willie, bring his straight backs back. Yo, this man was out here.
Cornrows, some cornrows, some cornrows.
Yo,
Trust me.
this man was out here looking like Jamie Candy, Malibu's Most Wanted. That was wild.
Yeah. Yo, Avery, don't start, Avery, don't start, don't start, don't start, don't start.
I will start. And also, I gotta give a shout out to someone else who's been having a solid season for the Leafs as well and producing this road trip has been one Mr. John Tavares. John Tavares out here, 34 years old, been in the league forever, and is slowly on pace to have a 80-point campaign, 35 goals, 34 assists. John Tavares has been low key in a nice year.
Yeah, like it's giving sleeper agent in the way that like everyone's like, oh, he's getting old. He's just gonna be here because he wants to be here in Toronto. He's not gonna perform anymore after like you could do blah blah blah. I'm like, shush. He's performing. He's
It's the
doing the damn
power.
thing. But
It's
I'm
the
very
power of the
surprised.
omelet. The
Like,
omelet.
you know, the stop. Not the amulet, not the amulet.
The
But
amulet.
like, but for real though, like I'm very surprised at how little people have been talking about his performance because we'll see a nice big flashy goal and be like, oh my god, John Tavares, it's like, but then we're like heavily undervaluing all of the other things that are going on, like the great possession, the like puck handling, like his good passes. I'm sure there's still that heavy element of leadership in the locker room in like keeping everyone on track. Like why did we forget? Why did he kind of slip under the rug?
You know what, Marsha? All I can say is John Tavares is like a bottle of the most expensive, or how about this? He's like a bottle of $7 million wine over 8 seasons that just gets better with age. That is John Tavares right now. This guy is playing like phenomenal hockey right now. And like you said, he is probably that vocal point in the locker room. And yeah, he lost the captaincy, but that's one guy that's been consistent throughout the course of the season. He's always showing up. Like you said, he's strong on the puck. He's setting up plays. Last night in LA, he had not one but two goals last night in LA. And on the empty netter, he had to work for that. And he outworked the defenseman back there to get to the puck to put it in the back of the net to seal that game yesterday. This guy is going to be somebody that the Leafs can definitely count on in the playoffs this season. He got a little bit of taste with the Islanders when he got them through that year. He got a taste when he scored the OT winner against Tampa. So now he knows the assignment and he knows that he has to be involved in regards to executing the plans and accomplishing the mission. Real shit. Tavares is having a great season.
Yeah, no, it definitely, and and I get why season's been lost when you look at the seasons of guys like Connor Hellebuck, Leon Draisaitl, Quinn Hughes. It's gonna get lost in the shuffle of guys who are in the MVP talk, which we'll get to later on. But no, it's probably been the most quietly productive season in Leafs franchise history, I think.
Yeah. And you know what? I think this is what we need. Because sometimes we get too much on the, oh, this is a 100+ point season. Mitch Marner's had 90 something primary assists, and Austin Matthews 70+ goals, and he like focusing a lot on the individual stats when this is a team game. Like the individual stats are great, But when we're doing all that good work in silence, that's when you see the cohesiveness come together. That's when you see we're making these things, we're making these marks and doing all these successful things. And it's more of a hindsight thing of like, oh, we just crossed that. I didn't even take it in because our overall play has been so good and consistent.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
no, I definitely agree. Sorry, Avery, go ahead.
like, so yeah, and that's what helps in large part teams getting to the second round, third round, et cetera, focusing on that solid team play, being a well-rounded team, and that's what's gonna make you. That's gonna is gonna put you in a discussion of being a team that can make some waves. I look at a team like example like the St. Louis Blues. The Blues are a solid team that are making waves and are holding things down in the Western Conference. So those kind of teams that are coherent and cohesive from line 1, 2, 3, 4 to pairings 1, 2, 3. Those are teams that make it to North in the postseason.
Oh, for sure. Like those teams that are like complete and have like four relentless lines and are playing together are gonna have the most success in the playoffs. Like you look at a team like Florida today, they were playing Montreal, and that game was a dogfight. I watched that out of market game. That game was a dogfight. And I'm just looking at the game, and yeah, although Florida lost, you could tell like certain moments those guys are like together. And I think that's like one of the most important pieces if you're gonna make a deep run in the playoffs. You guys gotta be aligned, and for the Maple Leafs in particular, like Tavares is that centerpiece. Yeah, Matthews is the captain, and you have Nyes and Marner, and you have all this talent out there. But as far as being like the glue that holds everything together, that's definitely Tavares, and he's leading by example too. Like, you know what I mean? He's going out there, he's training. You know, he's playing hard. He's not taking a shift off. He's doing whatever he can do, like to help his team.
And that again, that's the sign of a guy who knows what the ultimate stake is, what's there, what this team is trying to gun for. This team wants to get out of the first round. They want to have a deep run. They want to win a Stanley Cup. And you talk about the team players and guys, and sometimes putting aside the individual stats. I look at someone like I know he's been banged up, but I look at someone like an Austin Matthews who has played 58 games this year, but he has right now 10 more assists than goals. Austin Matthews doesn't need to right now this year be that sniper that's going out and getting his 55, 60 goals a year. He is finding other ways to be very effective.
Well, his two-way game is definitely developed. Like he's definitely like top five, one of the top five 200-foot players in the NHL. He he's doing different things out of his element because when you look at Matthews, you think, okay, this guy, he's a goal scorer. That's all he does. But like as he grew in the NHL into the player that he is now, like his defensive game has gotten better. You know, he's passing the puck a little bit more. He's not just shooting every time. Like he's smart with the puck. Like, you know, like he's coming back and he's helping the defenseman get the puck out of the D zone, right? And these are the things that make like a great hockey player, not just being able to score. Being able to score is one part, but if you have that defensive mindset and defensive ability, that makes you more of a threat. And this is why I feel like the Leafs are playing like better and in the position that they're in right now because Matthews is coming along. Like I can't say like he's better than Patrice Bergeron. He'll probably score more goals than Patrice Bergeron, but his defensive style is like similar to guys like Phil Deneau from LA and Patrice Bergeron. Those gritty two-way defensive centers that are a nightmare for like opposing players to play against. You know what I'm saying? And these are keys that are going to help you win when it matters most.
Mm-hmm. No, I could not agree more. I could not agree more with that, Jason. And going from the Leafs look to the PWHL, and we now have word from other reporters, other PWHL people who cover the league more than us that the league is all ready to announce expansion very soon in the coming days, and it's sounding like the league is going to have their two expansion teams be in the West, with one of them being Vancouver and the other one being most likely in the US. So to hear that, I think is very interesting. And again, we've talked on the show extensively about the expansion of PWHL and where it could be. We've talked about markets like Detroit, Pittsburgh, Quebec. We've teased Western markets. But right now, it's interesting because we said off air that the PWHL is heavily based in the East and kind of Midwest with Minnesota. So to commit to having this soon Western teams, and when you don't have a Western Conference yet, and which these teams will be kind of isolated, I think it's interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the fact that they're having West on their radar, but to me, gang, it seems soon going there when these two Western teams, be it Vancouver and whoever else, will have pretty tough commutes going to Minnesota, going to Toronto, Boston, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Now, I wonder if there's some sort of underlying sponsorship that we haven't heard of yet that is going to come along with this expansion. Because we've said it time and time again. Out in the West, it doesn't make sense unless it is several teams all together at once. The fact that it's one in Canada, one in the States, and they're not that close together. Um, like, is there an Air Canada sponsorship in the works that's gonna include some nice flights? Are the Leafs gonna let loose on the AC Jets plane every once in a while? Like, it doesn't make sense to me logistically because one, money, if you're doing private planes, I don't know if anyone's seeing Amalfi Jets on TikTok. Maybe I'm just on one specific side of TikTok. But private planes, they're so expensive that
yeah.
T-Pain is like, I'm gonna take commercial flights. Thank you very much. Like, how logistically is it going to make sense unless we're driving a lot of miles?
No, you're asking fair question, Marsha, and that's a really good point. Maybe there is a plan with Air Canada or Canada to get more flights for these teams when this is formally announced. So that's a great question, and then we see the man named Troy is finally on the pod. So we'll ask Troy. Troy, what are your thoughts on the PWHL? Sounding like the next two teams coming in are going to be in the western part of North America.
Well, it's probably going to be, to answer Merch's question, it's probably going to be something cheap like Spirit or Delta or JetBlue, one of these soon to be defunct airplane companies. But I think in terms of the expansion, like it's bound to happen at some point. You can't grow the game without going in different places, right? Um, it does seem kind of odd that I guess, that they're going west, and like you said, that they're going out west, and it doesn't seem like any sort of travel plans are in place. But I mean, like those are probably the little things that don't necessarily matter to the fans, I guess. Because I mean, as long as they're close to a city that represents them, or that they're close to where they can drive to themselves, I'm sure it's not going to totally matter where they put it. Um, I would like to see more teams on the West, because it it allows for more eyes to be on the sport than for people over here in the Eastern time zone, right? So I mean, like LA people and stuff like that, they can get their games over there if they choose. They can also tune into games over here. Like I said, either way, I think it's bound to happen. I guess probably just a lot sooner than people expected. Especially, I'm thinking maybe people were like, okay, let it go at least 4 or 5 years, and then maybe talk about expansion, because you want to give the league enough time to develop and maintain a um, what's the word I'm looking for? Relevancy, for lack of a better term. Um, like they want to make sure that they're, I think sustainable is the word I'm looking.
Mhm.
You want to make sure that it's sustainable, that there's going to be constant eyes on it, because especially with the investors and stuff, you don't want to be putting money into something that's not going to work out. Kind of like how money keeps getting poured into the XFL, and this damn thing just isn't working out time and time and again. Um, yeah. it's good for the game. It's good for the women because I'm sure there's tons of great hockey players across the country in Canada and North America who are dying to put their skills on display, and now they'll get the chance to do that.
Yeah, Jason, what are your thoughts on the matter?
I'm with Marsha still, like the logistics part, and then like Air Canada should definitely like free up the flights, man. Like free up the flights if you're gonna do this. Like I understand about the expansion, it's good, but then you gotta look at like how you're like gonna do the expansion. Like I understand like you want teams like in the western part now and stuff like that, but you gotta look at the time zones like aligning with the league and based off of the way the league is set, and then you got to look at traveling because that's a lot of driving, like Marsha said. That's a lot of miles. And you're not going to be able to like drive all those miles. Like, so the logistics part, but it would have made more sense like if it was like a Detroit or Pittsburgh and you just build the East a little bit more, before you start going into the West. But I get what they're trying to do as far as expanding and growing the league. And like what Troy said, like there's going to be a lot more women hockey players that are going to be able to like play on that like high skill top tier level, you know what I'm saying? So that's good in that part. But like when you're doing something like this, there's always pros and cons, right? It's just about weighing it
Mhm.
and then executing it properly.
No, totally, and yes, thankfully, yeah. And I mentioned earlier, yeah, Air Canada is a sponsored league, so no Southwest, no other airlines where no other airlines where the roof flies off mid flight, so that
Stop.
they will not be a part of this
Yo,
league.
man said where the roof flies off. Yo,
What is
Yo,
that?
Avery.
Alaskan Air?
I was Southwest.
Oh,
That was
was it
Southwest.
Southwest flight? Damn.
That was Southwest
Oh
flight
my
where
gosh.
where
Yo.
part of the roof came off.
GA
Yo,
seating on airplanes. That still baffles me to this day. I don't
yo,
understand.
some of these those the discount airlines of America, the stories you see about some of them are very funny. The discount
Mhm.
airlines, but oh my goodness. But yeah, no, yeah, like yeah, so what,
If Air Canada ends up being a sponsor, do you think the players will be able to collect and redeem their airplane points?
Oh, 100%.
oh
All of
yeah,
them.
oh
Airplane 25K by the end of the year.
oh yeah, well they are a sponsor, but yeah, they are a sponsor, but yeah, but they better. Yeah, I think there has to be a plan for them to first say, you know what, we can't have players in Vancouver and Seattle or Denver stuck in an airport because there's been horror stories before. I
Mhm.
mean, we see before with the WNBA, when that league was still in the era of flying commercial, we saw the horror stories about them traveling commercial. Like it was not good for W. So I don't want to see those kind of stories happening any further for the PWHL.
Absolutely not.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So we'll see how it's gonna work out. We'll see what's gonna happen there. But either way, that's gonna be fun. You mentioned the time zones. Before we get to MVP talk, you mentioned the time zones, even with this league here, and going back to the least road trip stuff. I just want to say, yo, watching late night hockey when I come out to Toronto, when I come out to Ontario, yo, that sucks. Real talk. That ain't it. That
Mhm.
ain't it. Nah.
It's not a
Nah.
vibe because it's like, what do you do for your day to like get you amped for that and like not want to fall asleep 10 minutes into the first period? You know
Mm-mm.
what I mean? Like, I'll
Nah.
take watching a game earlier than watching it later.
Right. Like I don't know how y'all be doing it when it's a West Coast game because when when I'm out east and I'm watching an Oiler game at 11 o'clock and some in the second period, it's like nah,
Man.
no. I like watching my games. I like watching a game or going to a game and knowing that from 9:30 ish on 10 p.m. on, I still
Mhm.
have time in my evening. I hate this. Oh, the game's over and it's 1:30. I gotta go to bed now.
Mm-mm.
Nah.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. I'll take Central. I'll take Mountain. Put me in the
Yeah.
Pacific and I'm done. I'm
Yeah,
done.
I'm
I
done.
have a
Like, yeah,
bedtime.
trust me, man. Like, Dio, if I didn't work so late, you know what I'm saying? Like I would not be able
Yeah.
to keep up with these games with my work schedule. I'm telling you the honest truth. This West Coast thing, it just landed perfect with and aligned with my work schedule. But if I was on some different hours, nah, fam. I can't do it,
It's
man.
hard.
I don't know how you do it, Avery, but nah, man. I can't do that Edmonton. Nah, I can't do that, fam. I tried to stay up and watch the Calgary Edmonton game last night. I didn't make it to overtime. You know why? Because I fell asleep.
And
And
you
that's
wake up, you're like, what's going on? What year is it? Game's
Yo,
done.
fam. Yo, I could not make it to overtime. And I seen the highlights this morning and I was mad still for the game
Hmm.
to end the way it ended. You know what I mean? Because I thought Edmonton was cooked yesterday. So I'm like, oh yeah, Calgary's gonna win. Wake up and look at the highlights. The man scored in overtime. Holy crow.
Yeah, I'm with Jason on this one in terms of like trying to stay awake and watch these late night West Coast games. Because like Thursday night after my men's league game, like I was watching the Leaf game. Just
Mhm.
much like Jason, I woke up in like the throes of the middle of the night with the TV still on, listening to fucking some random commercial or somebody talking on Sportsnet, and I'm just like, oh, geez, what time is it? It's like 2:30 in the morning or something
Uh,
like that. I'm like, oh, who won the Leaf game? I totally fell asleep from that. And I mean, I probably would have fallen asleep even if I didn't go to hockey. But it's hard trying to stay awake watching these
mhm.
games when you've worked a full shift, you've got other things to do, and then the notification pops up on your phone. Leaf game starts in 15 minutes, and it's like, ah, damn it, I got to stay awake longer now for this.
Yeah.
Like it
Jeez.
gets tough, and I mean, like it's it's. I feel like watching a regular season game in the Eastern time zone is much different than staying awake watching six overtimes in the playoffs. I think it's a
Hmm.
completely
oh yeah, like that's where I enjoy that. That's why it is fun to be out west because like you mentioned, like the when we've had those mega overtime games have gone to 3, 4, 5 overtimes. At the latest, for me, at the latest, okay, you go into say fourth overtime on say game starts at 7:38 p.m. Okay, the game ends at 12:30, 12:30, 12:45 ish or one. But if you're in Eastern time zone and you're waiting for a game to end that goes into a fourth overtime, you're up until probably 3 a.m. Eastern.
Run me my hours back. I'm sick and tired of it. Why did we decide that these are the times that things should be? Because even starting an EST game at 7:30 is pushing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's pushing it. And I will say this about sports. I will say this about television. There was a point in my life where Grey's Anatomy played at 6 p.m. and now it plays at like 10 p.m. What is this?
I know. Like
Work day
I
is
can't
this?
I can't do the 7:30 starts either, Marsha. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like I just feel like the night's going on longer.
You know?
Like yeah, I can't
And it's
do
a
that
kind of
anymore.
stress that's added to you before you're supposed to go to bed. What kind of
Yeah.
nonsense is this?
Pure nonsense. Pure nonsense.
Man.
Oh, see, that was why I liked covering the Western Conference Finals because it was one game on that day or that time slot, and no game from the West Final onwards, the Cup Final started later than 6 p.m. local time, 6 p.m. Mountain time. So
Mhm.
there was no 10 p.m. Eastern time start times. They wanted those games in prime time for the American audiences, and they demanded every game in that series to be at a decent hour. None is none
Mhm.
is that was 8 p.m. Mountain Time, 10 p.m. Foolishness start time.
Foolishness.
No, those hours in Edmonton are foolishness. Edmonton and Vancouver need to fix their hours to Eastern Standard Time.
What?
That's what needs to happen.
All right, man.
This
Yo.
guy.
All right, yo. This man said fix your time. Yo, this
The
man
whole
said,
world, one time zone.
yo, this
Just
this
one time zone.
this man said you're out west, skill issue.
Oh gosh.
Oh my goodness. And going from that to what Jason mentioned earlier, the man who is in the MVP discussions, Leon Draisaitl, after the Oilers overtime win over the Flames, had 2 goals in Edmonton's victory. He's now at 51 goals on the season in what is proving to be once again another tight race for the Hart Trophy. As you see the names of Leon Draisaitl, Nathan McKinnon, Nikita Kucherov's in that mix, Connor Hellebuck's in that mix, and still a shot. I do think maybe he's not going to be a finalist, but someone who's still in the discussion of the Hart has been Quinn Hughes. So I want to ask all of you, who is your right now with about 12 games to go in the regular season for the league? Who is your Hart Trophy winner right now? Who do you have as your winner right now as we approach the end of the season? I'll start with you, Marsha.
I'm just on a heavy Quinn vibe. Love Leon long time, but I just share an energy with Quinn Hughes. The trajectory of his season, his display, and also lack thereof emotion. I resonate with it heavily. So I think that's gonna carry him to where he needs to be. Like I said, Leon, you're doing great things. And you get all the recognition. But I feel like people miss those things in Quinn Hughes because he's Quinn Hughes, you know? He's there. He's doing great things, loves off his team, rides for them so hard, but slightly overshadowed by some of the other people. But when you really look in depth to all of the things that he's done this year so far, it's actually been a tremendous amount of growth from his past couple of seasons.
Mm-hmm. No, I know you're right, Marsha. And third straight season of 70 points or better from the back end, 54 assists. And friend of the show, Sam Chang, has always said without Quinn Hughes, the Canucks would be in dead last in the NHL
Mm,
and not fighting for a playoff spot. And she's right.
exactly. Exactly.
No, it's been a heck of a run for him as easily the best player on that Canucks roster. Troy, who is your MVP for the season?
I am going with Leon Draisaitl because him and Ovechkin are the only ones with 450 goal seasons. And 50 goals is hard to do in a league like the NHL. It's hard to score 50 goals, period, anywhere. Um, unless you're playing 2K on like easy mode. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Draisaitl for that reason. 50, sorry, 51 and counting, but yeah, him and Ovechkin are the only ones with 450 goal seasons. Um, props to everybody else though. That's in the running because I mean, it's so the NHL is not an easy league to play in. It's not an easy league to succeed in. Everybody's doing tremendous things for their respective teams. So I mean, I can't really hate on anybody. I can't really say, oh, this guy is who's in this list. He sucks or they suck, whatever. No, they've all done individual, unique things that help boost their team to where they are. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Dreisaitl because simply because he got to 51st. Um, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and right now Leon is 29 years old. If he were
Mhm.
to retire today, he would walk into the Hall of Fame as the best German player of all time, the best German HL player ever. There's no one close.
Iconic. We love to see it.
Yeah, and he'll be on pace to hit the 1,000 point mark early-ish in the 25-26 season. And the way he stepped up when McDavid has been banged up, McDavid's had his slumps here and there. The fact that Leon Draisaitl has said, you know what, it's a I'm putting a team on my back this season. It's been amazing to watch here in Edmonton.
Oh, for
I
sure.
agree.
Oh, sorry, Marshall. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
no, I was just agreeing. Go ahead, man.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Jason.
me, I was just gonna say like Leon definitely stepped up since McDavid's been out of the lineup. I'm glad you brought that up, Avery, because like his play, like he actually put that team on his back. Last night was a clear cut example of him like saying, "Okay, I don't have my right hand. It's just me out here. I have this squad. I'm gonna take the heavy load and I'm gonna carry the weight till my guy gets back. And you love to see it. You know what I'm saying, Avery? And that's gonna be like very, very easy for McDavid to make his transition back into the lineup, and they'll be able to pick up right where they both left off when they were playing with each other last. You know what I mean? And that's a positive sign for Edmonton, to tell you the honest truth.
Yeah, no, it really is. So Jason, who is your MVP? Is it Leon or is it somebody else for your MVP?
Oh, Nathan McKinnon, brother. Nathan McKinnon is my MVP.
All
This guy
right.
is just Mr. Consistency. Like Leon is doing right now, is McKinnon is doing the same thing in Colorado. Yes, you can make the argument that Kale McCarr is down there and this and that, but McKinnon is just a man where he just always, this guy I seen go like 0 to like 96.5 miles an hour, and like it was just crazy. Like McKinnon, he's just all over the place, and he's like a wild man. Like he's hunting pucks, he's shooting the puck on net, he's coming back down the ice, and he just plays the game at a high level. Like, yeah, McKinnon is my MVP, guys.
All right, Nate McKinnon. Yeah, he's been again seeing Nate McKinnon, Kale McCarr, Devontae. That Colorado team is gonna be scary to watch come this postseason. And yo, it's too bad. It's too bad they're running right into the Dallas Stars because that Dallas Colorado series that should not be a possible first round matchup. That should be a second round matchup or a conference final
100%.
matchup.
100%. Bring back the 1-8 format, please, man. Bring it back.
Every year we have to say this. This is too much, too early.
Like, yeah, the 1-8, 1-8 was the best formula. It gave us. I love the fact it gave us the system that saw teams become giant killers. So I definitely wish it would go back to that. But this league loves the fact you gotta get out of your own division first and claw out of it. But no, I agree with you, Jason. I would love to see this league go back to the 1-8 format. But the league has said, nope, we like this format. We're keeping it.
You are the only ones. No one in the existence of this entire earth with their chest will say that they like this nonsense of a format.
Wild card.
It's
What
not
is a
fun.
wild card? What is
It's
a wild card?
why do we
What is
need
a wild
this?
card?
Why do
We
we need
don't
wild
need that.
card? Why do we need play in? Why do we need this? Like, just play the game as it was meant to be played.
I
If you
mean,
win, you win.
Exactly.
You lose, you lose.
I mean, and now we're seeing the discussion and the debates where when the NHL goes to 34 teams, should the NHL expand the postseason? And my hard thing is no, do not expand the postseason. Do not get to a point like great example is again look we have the play-in systems in the NBA and the wildcard games in MLS where it's too many teams getting in or having a chance. No, I don't want to see NHL where you have 34, 36 teams, for example, and now 20 get in. No, make it
What's the
hard.
point?
Yeah, exactly. Make it hard to make the postseason. Keep it at 16 if you do expand. When we no, sorry, not if. When do we do expand? Keep it at 16 teams when this league gets to 34 and 36 teams. Keep it low.
Yeah,
Like,
if they start at, oh, sorry, go, you go, Marsha, you go.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, you're playing your whole season, and like by around this time, you know where you are. When you hit like late March, early April, you mean to tell me this is what you're gonna introduce when a man's already planning his summer vacation? You're like, haha, JK, there's a chance you might make the playoffs. And then you play your little play-in game. Haha, JK, you have an extra couple weeks to play now. You're not done yet. Like, how does that make sense?
It's I know it's probably gonna happen because playoff revenue, home playoff game money. Owners gonna love that money coming in. If, say, for example, we get a 20-team postseason, but I do not want to get to a point. Then I don't want to see a team in sub 500 in the postseason.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to see that. You just want a 1-8 if you're adding more teams. You don't want this wild card bullshit. And if you're gonna change anything about the rules, I wouldn't mind overtime being 10 minutes. This way it forces you to play other players on your bench. I'm tired of watching overtime and seeing the same guys come out all the time. It's always the same guys. I want to see Matthew Nyes in overtime. I don't want to see Matthew Nyes on the bench in overtime. Like, come on, man. If you're gonna change anything, just make overtime 10 minutes. That's it. And then whatever happens, I don't know. Don't do the shootout thing because the shootout point is stupid. Just take it out.
Hmm.
Because that point is stupid. But we'll save that for another time. But as far as
Exactly.
the playoffs, 1-8, 1-8.
Yeah, yeah, keep it as is. Make it difficult. Make it a challenge, an accomplishment to get the
Hmm.
postseason. Keep it
I
as
don't want a
such.
participation trophy. Come on
No,
now.
no, we don't.
If I
And
might interject here,
what was that, Troy?
if I might interject here, abolish the current playoff format. I agree with everybody. 1-8, abolish the loser point. Don't make it
Yeah,
like abolish the loser point. Completely worthless. If it goes to overtime, don't give out any points until somebody wins.
you right.
That's it. Don't give out points until somebody wins. I think that's
Tell
the
me
easiest way
again.
to solve the problem. You don't have teams, playing a different way because they're trying to get the tie or the extra point. Because if there's no points on the table for going to overtime, like if you're not getting that 1 point just for being tied at the end of 60 minutes, that's dumb. Like that, make it all like something or nothing in overtime. And I think regular season overtime, 3-on-3 for 10 minutes.
Mhm.
That's fine. I think
Yeah,
that's fine.
it's a league where the thing is too, like the league loves they love the parity or the false parity too much. Ever scrap the loser point, but then in that case, then I would love to see this league switch to 3-2-1 format for points. Then you emphasize a win in regulation because hey, I could see a team. Yeah, you got to win, but you need the win in 60 minutes. An overtime win does you nothing. I want that kind of drama.
That's nice. I like that because, like, in my opinion, there are too many things on that stat line to be a tiebreaker. Why does a loser point have to be the tiebreaker? The
Uh,
OT loser point. You
it's
know,
silly.
it's
I
it, we're just you get a point. You get a point. You get
Yeah,
a point. Like why?
right. And
Why do you get a point for losing? That doesn't make any sense.
I know the idea. I know it was that it was a turn of the century thing to try and keep more teams in games. But no, you get it, Trey. It is silly. But my last point before I give my MVP vote here is can we finally just go in the standings to say that an overtime loss is a loss? Just go to straight in the standings columns. Win, loss. That's it. An
Truly,
overtime an overtime loss is not a tie. It's not. You lose.
it's not. It's not. It's a tie at the end of regulation, yes, but the game still goes on. There's a winner and a loser. Okay,
Yeah. Like you
Like
can't
there's
go
not
no
ahead.
ties in
soccer.
basketball.
Was that Troy?
There's no ties in basketball. You play until you get a winner.
Yeah. Like that third column has not been relevant in over 10, 20 years when we actually had ties. We don't anymore. Just go to wins and losses. I hate the NHL tries to tell us, like for example, a team can be 30, 30, and 2 and say, "Oh, that's 500." What?
No,
No, that's
no,
30 and
the math is
32.
not mathing. The math is not mathing.
It isn't. You're trying to tell me that a team that has technically lost 32 times is at 500? Stop this.
Because,
Stop
like,
this
when you
right
think
now.
about it, what is even the point of going into overtime and going into a shootout if you're gonna say, "Ha! It doesn't matter if you lose in overtime; it's still gonna get added."
Yeah.
So, what are we doing?
Right? It is silly. And or it should be like how the NFL does it, where a tie or an equivalent is counted as a half loss and a half tie. It actually affects your standings to go to that extra session.
Interesting.
Yeah, like the NFL has it where I like the NFL because the NFL is saying, yes, you didn't lose the game, but no, you didn't win. You don't get full credit for this.
I like that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that's how it should be. An overtime loss shouldn't be a thing that just doesn't get added to your record. Or percentage. That's dumb. That's very dumb, I think.
Because in a way, it's like saying that the game didn't exist. But it did.
Yes, exactly, Marsha.
What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't get it, and I'll get to my MVP here. It's tough. I am gonna go with Leon for what he's done. Another 100-point season, 51 goals, on pace for his first 60-goal 60-goal campaign. But I do think if I were to rank the finalists, I would say it's Leon 1, Connor Hellebuck 2, Quinn Hughes 3. Because what Connor Hellebuck has done again, I mean, yes, Winnipeg has to show me as a team more in the postseason, but it doesn't go into voting though. But in general, Connor Hellebuck once again has given Winnipeg a chance to win and thrive and do well. So, and he's been again, and he's always been as consistent in Winnipeg. So that's my runner-up for the Hart Trophy this year. It's Connor Hellebuck.
True. You're making a good point there too. Standing on his head all the time, like without him, realistically, where would Winnipeg be?
Oh gosh,
and I don't think it's where they are right now. So,
no. So, all right, we'll wrap things up here on third intermission. Any final thoughts, gang?
Can the sun come back, please?
It's coming soon. It's coming soon. We just had to get through this rainstorm, but yeah, it should be coming soon. Like next week, week after.
Yeah, I miss it.
You
That's my thought.
You miss it? Me and you both, man.
Yeah.
Canada cowl.
Yo, sun gone over there? Sun not showing up anymore in Toronto?
Nah,
No, it's
fam.
just been this like doom and gloom, like
Yeah.
low pressure headaches or whatever. But you know what? I'll take the rain because Ottawa got like 25 centimeters of snow.
Yeah. We'll take the rain. We'll definitely take the rain with a smile. Ottawa, you can take the snow. Well, yeah, we'll take the rain.
They really set out here on these streets. Blame it on the rain. Really said that, eh? Oh my goodness. So before we go, I do want to give my last point. Huge shout out to Jason Ross Jr. and Kevin Weeks, who were holding things down this weekend, calling the men's Division 1 NCAA hockey broadcasts on ESPN, an all-black broadcast booth, holding things down during the Penn State UConn game today. Love to see more black voices in hockey media holding things down on television.
Black excellence, man. Black excellence.
That's so real. That just makes me feel so nice.
Right?
True joy.
No, that is.
And they were sick too. I don't know if I seen like when Penn State like scored, like, and I heard the play-by-play. It was exciting, man. Those guys are, yeah. You probably want to see those guys commentate a little bit more. Hopefully they get another game in this tourney. They get the final, you know what I mean? Because it's definitely refreshing, something that we don't get to hear, on a daily basis. So it was definitely a good look, man. Definitely, in my opinion.
And on women's tournament side, with Wisconsin won a national championship, and Layla Edwards, national champion. So we got a black woman winning a national championship in women's hockey again. Layla Edwards held things down this year for Wisconsin. So big ups to her as well.
Girl power, bro. Gotta big up the girls. More black excellence, though. That's what we're here for. The black excellence.
Yes. Anyways, with that being said, we're out of here. Until next week, thank you for allowing us to grace the space in between your head top. And until next time, Jason, what should they be drinking?
Make sure you guys are drinking your water. Mind your business. And sorry, Troy. Wait, okay, go ahead, Troy.
We said the same thing at the same time. Drink your water and mind your business.
Jinx.
Overtime, Marsha.
Oh, goodness.
Oh.
With that being said, we out of here. Deuces.